Hello, it's nearly Christmas, so let's learn how to make a really quick snowflake pattern in Procreate. This method is different to the normal diamond repeat that I normally use, but it's really quick and fun to do. Let's jump right in and draw our first snowflake. This can sometimes be hard to draw in Procreate because even though we have the symmetry tool, it doesn't do lines of symmetry at the correct angles for a snowflake. But I've got a way to get around that and still have a perfect snowflake. So let's go up to our actions and turn on our drawing guide. We can tap on edit drawing guide and we're going to turn symmetry on, and the options we want are quadrant. So we've got the lines of symmetry going like that. Then we can tap done. Make sure that this layer here says assisted, because then we'll be able to draw symmetrical shapes. So I'm going to start out drawing in black and change it to white later. We'll just start up here and drag and snap that down to the middle. Then we'll draw some smaller little branches on there like that. And then maybe one extra little one down here. So that's going to be the top and bottom branch of our snowflake. So now we're going to swipe to duplicate this layer, and we're going to tap up here to transform, tap this node, and we're going to type in 60 degrees. And that's going to spin that round 60 degrees for us. Then we can duplicate this bottom one again, tap to transform, and this time we want to spin this round by 120 degrees. And that's how you get a perfectly spaced out snowflake. First one you rotate by 60 degrees, and the second one you rotate by 120 degrees, always duplicating off this one at the bottom there. So now we can pinch to snap those two together, and that is our first snowflake. I'm going to hide that and make another slightly smaller one now. So we'll add a layer and turn on drawing assist for this one. So we'll make this one a little bit smaller. And use a slightly different design on this one. And then we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to swipe to duplicate, tap to transform, rotate by 60 degrees, and then duplicate the bottom one again, tap to transform, and this time rotate by 120. And there we've got our second snowflake. So now we can set a background colour. I'm going to use this fun hot pink colour for this, and I'm going to recolor both of my snowflakes white by alpha locking them, grabbing white, and we'll just do fill layer on both of these. So to start with, we'll hide the smaller snowflake, and then this snowflake here, we're going to swipe to duplicate it, tap to transform, and you want to make sure you've got snapping and magnetics both on, and then we're going to drag this and snap it up into the top corner there. You want to see two orange lines just like that, and then you'll know it's snapped exactly into the corner and you can let go. Then we'll come down to this bottom one again, duplicate it, and we're going to do the same into each of the other corners. So drag it out into the corners there until you get that orange line. Don't let go until you have those two orange lines there, and also don't move after you've got them. Then we can duplicate this one again, drag it down here until we have two orange lines there. Sometimes it can take a while. There we go. And then do the same down into this corner here. So that's the first part of our pattern tile done. Now I'm going to duplicate this bottom layer again. I'm going to tap to transform, and I'm going to tap up here, and I'm going to rotate it by 30 degrees this time. And this is going to turn it around so it's just facing kind of flat the other way. So we've got this kind of thing going on now. And I'm going to duplicate this one, drag this one and snap it over to the side like that. You can see those orange lines there. I'm going to duplicate it again, drag it up the top there, snap it with the orange lines, and then drag it out to the side here And then this last one, we can drag that down to the bottom. And then we can turn this one back on. And then this smaller snowflake that we put in up here, I'm just going to duplicate this one to show you the one I mean. So we're going to drag this one out here and have this kind of in the corners there. So to get it in exactly the right place, just get rid of that one, we need to mark out a corner here that we can snap to. And the way we do that, I'm going to add a layer, grab a contrasting colour, and I'm going to fill that layer with this whole colour. Then I'm going to turn all of these other layers off so that this isn't trying to snap to anything else apart from the canvas. I'm going to tap to transform, and I'm going to snap this up into that top corner there until we have those orange lines. And now we've got this box that is exactly 1/4 of the canvas size. So we can center that one back in the middle with those orange lines there. And now when we turn our snowflake layer on, we can put that down at the bottom. Now what we can do is duplicate that one, and we can center it on the corner of this square like that. You won't see orange lines because it's snapping to another object, not the canvas. You only get the orange lines when it's snapping to the edges of the canvas. So we want to see those 2 blue lines crossing over there. And we'll turn all the other layers on so we can make sure that things aren't getting in the way too much. So we'll go back to this original one in the middle, which you can't see because it's kind of on top of the other one. So we'll duplicate this one and drag that up there and snap that to the corner of the box. Duplicate this one, snap that to the corner of the box. And then this last one, don't need to duplicate, but I have anyway. And snap that one to the corner of the box. You might need to zoom in so you can see exactly what you're snapping it to. There we go. So now we can hide this one and we can turn our guidelines off. And don't forget to turn the one off in the middle. So now that is our snowflake pattern tile done. We can see how that's tiling by swiping down with 3 fingers to copy all. I'm going to group all of these so that we can easily turn these on and off and keep them out of the way. So those are all in one group now. If you're short on layers, you could flatten those all into one layer, but I recommend keeping everything as separate as you can because you then have the option to go back and edit things later. So let's swipe down again, and now we can paste, and that has just pasted a copy of everything we had there. So now we can tap to transform this layer. We've got everything else turned off, so we know it's only going to snap to the canvas, and we can drag this up so we've got our orange lines there. Duplicate, drag it over to this side, pinch those 2 together, and duplicate and drag that down and snap it to the bottom. And then that is our perfectly tiling snowflake pattern. If you want to just double check that everything is tiling properly, change your background color to something really dark and then zoom into the middle, and you should see no thin lines of that darker color showing through there. If it hadn't snapped properly and you had little gaps, you'd see that darker color peeping through there. So that's how you can check that you've definitely got it all tiling properly. So there we go, that's our snowflake pattern made in Procreate with those 2 cool hacks for getting 6 lines of symmetry and using the 1/4 canvas snapping to get your built-in half job. If you found this video useful, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for tips and tutorials like this every week. Thank you for watching, have fun, stay creative, and I will see you next time.